begin this. Greetings, everyone. We greet everyone in peace, and we pray everyone is having a wonderful day. We thank Almighty God for having awakened us this day, because everybody went to bed last night and didn't necessarily wake up this morning.
That's right.
Amen.
That's just true. A lot of times we don't give life the proper value that we should.
That is true.
But having said that, we are very thankful to have this opportunity to hear from someone who has become, I consider, a friend of mine. Been in Muskegon Heights for about 15 months, but at the same time, he is not a stranger to this area. He has been here before, as he pointed out to me. He has been in and out of Muskegon over a number of years, has lectured here, has seen the city, and as he has said, he's here to help make a difference in what's going on, not only in Muskegon, but ultimately in this whole area. And he's a man of much accomplishment. God has blessed him to have achieved much in life. Growing up in Mississippi and going from there, he has done many positive things and obtained many degrees of education to the point where he is now Dr. Joseph B. Thomas, Jr.
All right.
Dr. Joseph B. Thomas. Yeah, that deserves a round of applause. Because praise God for his having stuck with it and been able to achieve those things. But to me, he's a man who tries and strives to do the best for the people whom he serves. And he is here to serve at this point in time the people of Muskegon Heights and you who are here today. So without further ado, we want to greet and bring forward, introduce to some, and present to others, Dr. Joseph B. Thomas, Jr., Chief of Police of Muskegon Heights, Michigan. Dr. Thomas.
Thank you very much. I often listen to people that introduce me sometime, and I want to turn to the side and say, who are they talking about? Let me start off by saying this first, okay? This is probably one of the biggest groups I've talked to since I've been here. That's how at least we participate. But that's a whole other lecture. That'll take me 2 hours to explain. But I tell you what I do want to do. Every once in a while, I'm going to put my glasses on like this. It's not because I need glasses. I just think they're cool. I can't say a thing.
I think you cool.
But first, let me start off by sharing what I call a quality customer relationship. Okay? I want to tell you briefly a little bit about me, so you won't. So you want to listen, or you might listen to me differently. That's one of the problems we got right now, is that we don't understand who we're working with and who we're living with. Okay? You got to know a little bit about me. I'm a Southerner. I was born and raised in Mississippi on a cotton plantation. And I was born to a very, very poor family. My mom had a 4th grade education. Dad had a 6th grade education. And we didn't have very much. And I began to listen to people at a very young age. My father was a bootlegger. He ran 2 blind pigs. I watched my first person get killed when I was 14 years old in one of my father's blind pigs. My mother shot 3 people. Wife of the soul going on robberies because she sold fish in the back. And I was a little boy, and I'm saying, Dad, I don't think I want to do this. I made a decision when I was real young. Not because I was that smart. When I was 12 years old, my father took me to a place called Issaquah in 4th Street in Clarksville, Mississippi, right down from Big Floor Barbershop. And I got a chance with 11 other young men to speak to a person called Medgar Evers and Martin Luther King. And I heard them make a statement, and Martin Luther King said something. He said, by the way, too, my folks didn't call him Martin Luther King. I didn't know his name was King until I got to be about 20 years old. They called him Martin Luther. That's what people called him back then. But anyway, he said there's 2 things. Number one, people will treat you differently no matter who you are. They will discriminate against you, no matter who you are. What they would do, they would be the least likely to discriminate against you if you got money and education. Remember I told you we didn't have money? Remember that? I chose to educate myself, and I'm finding out they did. My father ran 2 blind pigs. You know why? Because the plantation owner gave him 2 blind pigs to run and kept the police officer away from him. They paid the police officer $3 a week to stay away from his blind pigs, because my father knew how to count. Other blacks on the plantation and a few whites. They got paid according to what my father said they did. And when you can count, that was different. They treated you differently. You know, and I watched that. And that thing was reinforced to me when Dr. Anderson introduced me to a lady that rode a bus, and she refused to get up off the bus, to give up her seat. Rosa Parks, I got photographs with her. Rosa Parks told me, she said, you know what? Boy, you need to go back to school. See, I didn't get upset when she called me boy. Because I understood where she was coming from. We get upset about words. Okay? And I didn't. Not listen to folks like that. Carl Reed. I had to talk to Bill and Hillary Clinton. Got in contact with Gerald Ford. Did some work with Nixon. And I was appointed as a White House delegate by Ross Barnett. Ross Barnett was one of the biggest racists I had ever seen. By the way, I was raised on Jim Crow. Separate but equal. And he appointed me. Because he said, you know what? Boy, you're going to be something someday. And I tried.
All right.
So it's a little bit about me. So if I say something that you don't understand, if I use a phraseology, don't think, well, what's he talking about? He talking down on us. Or, you know, he's trying to be low us. No, I'm not. That's just the way we talk. Like sometimes I tell my officers over there, I said, boy, you know, you nutted the $50 fruitcake. You know, and they had to understand where I was coming from. Maddie Porter died. I don't know if you know her or not. She said, hey, Chief, are you going to council meeting tonight? I said, sure, as a who's go barefooted. And she said, huh? Okay. That's just the way I talk. So don't judge me based upon what I said. Don't judge me like they judge Louis Farrakhan. You remember that? Day of Atonement. Louis Farrakhan said, black males, educate yourself. Believe in a supreme being, God the Father Almighty. You might want to call him Allah, Buddha, Yahweh, Great Spirit, same person, trust me. And then it's another lecture, okay? He's talking about the same folk. Then he said, blacks and whites should live separately. And what did we hear? Black and white should live separately. And they forgot about everything else that he said. So now, don't do me that way, okay? Don't say, well, I don't like his uniform. Well, it's not your uniform, it's mine. I'm here to share data with you, okay? Also, too, the way you listen to me. When I talk about facts and figures, I call it empirical data. You know, I'm talking about what are most people doing. Not everybody, okay? What most people are doing. So don't look at me and say, well, I've never seen that. I've never seen the error either. Get my drift? Because you don't see it doesn't mean that it's not there.
That's right.
Or it's not transpiring. If you look at empirical data. It's much like going to church. We got people that go to church that think the minister, the rabbi, or the priest, or the reverend is talking to other folk. No, they talking to you. You go to church for yourself. You know, well, they talking about the Johnson family. No, they talking about your family. Okay. So that's how you listen to me, and this is who I am, and this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to share some information with you. And this information I'm going to share with you, I'm going to try to give you some data and show you how to turn that data into information.
All right.
Another difference. A lot of us spend too much time reading data, okay, and you don't know how to convert it. We don't know how to convert it. Sometimes I get confused, okay, and I have to go back and refocus myself. There's a close correlation and parallel between what is transpiring in Muskegon Heights, Muskegon County, and the rest of the country. Oh my God, the Boogabear live in Muskegon Heights. No, the Boogabear live everywhere. We may have a little bit more than most people, but we're working on that. Okay? We're working on that. But it's transpiring all over. Well, don't go to the heights. Somebody gonna grab you. Somebody can grab you any place.
That's right.
You know, I had to tell the media about that. Oh, wait. The same thing is happening someplace else, but they call it something else. Okay? You get sexually molested in Muskegon Heights. Okay? It is called a rape. News media show up. There are some other places that you get sexually molested, and they call it a suspicious incident. That's different. Okay? You call it the same thing, but it's transpiring. Now it's going to come out sooner or later. So the bottom line is, we are not that bad off. However, we're going to talk about what's happening in this country, then I'll talk about what's happening in the state, then we're going to look at what? Muskegon Heights. And you say, you might want to take a look at that data and say, we are okay, we just need to do it better. We need to change some of our behaviors and change our culture. And so we can get back to where we are supposed to be or where we were. A lot of time I talk to people about moving forward. You know, sometimes to move forward, you have to go backwards. Okay? There's a strange correlation between taking prayer out of school and crime. Did you know that?
Yes, sir.
A strong correlation. You know, we live in an ethical society. Okay? And ethics are about rules and regulation, policies, statutes, ordinances, and things like that. You realize that in order to adhere to those rules and regulations, you got to be morally fit. Yes, how many of you going to speed when you go home? Your heart have to say, sign say 30. Stay at 30, maybe 31, 32, but don't go 55 down Hackley Street. Right. Or you think that we don't know they're going 55? We write tickets out there, but we also got the prostitutes over here we have to chase. Okay? We got some drug dealers we got to chase.
That's right.
So we just almost like hitting that nail all over again. We know what they're doing. We write tickets. I had one lady just cute. She came to council meeting and said, I don't ever see them on Hackley Street. I don't know what the police officers are doing. We wrote 12 tickets in 30 days over there. There had to be a police officer over there someplace.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes I tease people. I say drive white cars with a little blue sign that says Muskegon Heights and says police down the side. They got to be over there because they wrote 12 tickets. But they think that you're not there. Okay. So let's talk about data. Major incidents. The major incident that we're dealing with throughout this country. By the way, you know I was in Jacksonville the day that the director of the FBI got fired. He had just got through talking to us. And he called us back and said, you know what, I just got fired. And we said, what? When did that happen? He said, while I was in the air. Oh, wow. He flew from Jacksonville, Florida. I'm a graduate of the FBI Academy. And he was flying to the LA field office. And he found out that he got between Jacksonville and LA, the president terminated. But that's another story. But the bottom line is, you know what he talked to us about? Shots fired.
Yes, sir. Shots fired.
We're averaging over 5 million shots in this country a year that don't hit anybody.
Yes, sir.
That's just people shooting at each other. Why? What the heck? We got the same thing happening in Muskegon Heights.
Yes, sir.
Are we trying to get a grasp of it? Yes. Now here's what we need to work on. How do we stop that? And we're going to talk about that. We're going to go back in a few minutes. The second thing that we're dealing with in this country, and also here, is people being shot.
Yes, sir.
Okay? People actually being shot. That's your second largest crime. Number 3, homicides. People getting killed by other people. Let me talk about that a little bit, okay? Just briefly. Do you realize that approximately 96% of the time when a person of color get killed, they get killed by another person of color? The Ku Klux Klan's not around.
All right.
Ku Klux Klan's not your problem. My dad said a long time ago, and I kind of put some credence to it, boy, you got to be alive to be discriminated against.
Yes, sir.
You can't be dead and do that. Okay. Now, who is killing whom? That's what we should take a look at.
Yes, sir.
But we're going to go back and revisit that in a few minutes. What else do we are dealing with? Drug overdose.
Yes, sir.
Drug overdose, I'm going to skip down a little bit, and drug death. Now, here's something that people, they kind of smile at me when I make this statement, but this is empirical data. Most of our drug overdoses and deaths occur because of opioids. Okay?
Yes, sir. That's right.
Opioids.
That's right.
Not the illegal type, but the prescription type.
Yes, sir.
And people said, well, I don't believe that. Well, I can't even make you believe what's true. A lot of this stuff is coming out of the doctor's office. Okay, that's where a lot of your opioids are coming out of. And also too, overprescription. There are some medical personnel, not all, that might want to take a look at if they are overprescribing drugs and putting more drugs on the streets and being taken by young people that go to their grandmother and their father medicine cabinet and take it. If you sprain your ankle, you don't need 60 days worth of narco.
That's true.
Now, I got an amen right there. Okay. But why don't you say that's true?
Because I've had aches and pains they give them to me and I don't take that many.
You don't take that many. They're just inundating with us. I mean, I got my concern about that. I do. I mean, are you giving us something that you know that is going to get out of our hand, or we're going to know it's going to get you hooked? I don't know. But at any rate, what I say I'm going to hit you with empirical data. Okay, give you some data. How do I turn that into information? When you get to the point that you feel better, and you can go take something much lighter in drug content, do that. Okay, do that and take that and bring it down to the police station and get rid of it. Don't flush it down the commode now because that stuff get into the water system. That's another lecture. We are flushing too much stuff down the commode. Okay, and they're coming up in your water. And see, water don't go away. The ground purifies it and holds it and gives it back to you. Gotta be careful with that. I think some of the problems, now I'm gonna leave my lecture, okay? I think some of the problems right now is the chemical composition of the food we eat. You realize that the average chicken that you buy in the store is anywhere between 8 and 12 weeks old? Have you looked at it? They got chicken breasts as big as my hand.
That's right.
You know, I'm going, whoa. They got chicken thighs that big. And I'm going, you know what, chickens don't get that big. Okay, yeah, so what are we giving them? Now, we're going to go back to my lecture. By the way, too, I tell y'all, ADD, you gotta keep up. You gotta listen to me, okay? You gotta listen to me. Drug overdose. Now, here we go again. The next crime that we have to deal with, especially here in Muskegon Heights, okay, is domestic assault. I'm still concerned about the people that we hurt, that we're in love with. You know, man, you're still beating your woman. That's not good. You can't make her love you. What is the adage is? You can't make a man respect you nor a woman love you. Don't hit her. I don't know why we're doing it. And I thought we passed a law about domestic assault. What did I tell you earlier? Passing ethical laws, rules, and regulations won't work until your heart say, I shouldn't hit my sister, brother, my girlfriend, or somebody I got a dating relationship with. That's when it's going to stop. I looked at some of the data before on racial overtones. You know, when you use racial overtone cross-culturally, across religious lines, across gender lines, and usually it wound up in church, it's in the school, or you see it on TV, or you read it in the newspaper, and we use it toward each other constantly. I've often said, people will stop using the N-word when we stop using it. The next thing that we're having, the problem that we're having, it doesn't really parallel the United States because it really is happening a lot here now, and that burglaries. We got people, have you noticed we got people that are moving back into the city? We got people now that are investing in the city. We got companies now that are coming in and rehabbing homes. And they're renting those homes to people that got a certain level of income. It increases the tax basis, but it also increases the value of your home. Before they can move somebody moved in and took the refrigerator and stove. We got people now that are taking furnaces out of homes that are being rehabbed. You know, we got, and you know, none of them is that. They do it in a neighborhood and nobody saw anything. You know, to make you want to go, Houston, we got a problem. We've become callous to what? Criminal activity. We don't watch each other's homes. And it's going to hurt us in the long run if we don't make sure that the people that are moving into your neighborhood and painting their windows and cutting their grass and so forth can't keep what they got because you see somebody in their yard and you don't question them, or you don't call the police, or you don't write down their license number. they won't be here very long. And we got to track things like that. Burglaries. The second problem we got that is not Muskegon Heights, that really doesn't parallel the national or the state average, okay? And that is the disrespect for the property of others. We got people who will park their car in front of your driveway.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, they'll put a junk car in their front yard and expect it to stay there for the rest of their life. You know, that's the problem we got in Muskegon Heights.
Mm-hmm.
Disrespect for property, not only personal property, but private property, and personal property, and also public property. I've seen people stop at a traffic light right there at Peck and Sherman. Open the door and put the McDonald's bag on the middle of the street,
Mm-hmm.
wait till the light change, and drive off.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going, whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
What's your mindset?
Mm-hmm.
You know, disrespectful property. I got a complaint right now that I'm going to talk to a lady sometime on Tuesday. I can't do it on Monday, okay? But I am going to go on Tuesday. That when she plant flowers, that the kids next door pull them up.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a problem? In this community, it is. And we're going to talk about that later on. Why am I going down this list of things? Okay? Neighborhood complaints, okay? You know, now I'm down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Most prevalent complaints in the city, and if it parallels the state or the national average, okay? Traffic violations, okay? I've seen people run a blood red traffic light 2 seconds after the light is turned red.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't see that in other cities. Why do I see it here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Hackley and Peck, it's not a speedway.
Mm-hmm.
You know, then they wonder, and when we stop them, don't you have something better to do? Yes, to give you a ticket. That's something better to do. Because you know what? There's a strong correlation between traffic accidents and speeding. Speeding really don't cause traffic accidents. Mm-hmm. It increased the severity. We just got a grant in Muskegon County, okay? We, the city of Muskegon Heights, ranked number 2 in the county for pedestrian traffic accidents. Mm-hmm. Running over kids and adults. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, we had a fatal right up here. Let me see, where am I? No, down here. Okay, Peck and Broadway. And we got a grant to control that. We're going to put extra patrol out there. But is it something that we want to focus on? I hope to shall, because then you know what? It increases the quality of life. We're going to talk about that. Human trafficking. Human trafficking. Do you realize that the demographics in this city change drastically at night? We got people now have chosen to sell their bodies. Mm-hmm. And some of them, I'm watching them now, they got olive skin and dark hair and speak very little English. They're coming out of Mexico and other Spanish-speaking countries. And they're being brought in by people that are inundated in the United States. Mm. And we just happen to be involved in it. Mm. I was shocked the other day that when I found out that you can make a phone call on the dark internet. Yes. And you can actually order a 6-year-old child. Mm. And you can use that 6-year-old child for 3 hours for $5,000.
Oh,
wow.
Well, I'm telling you what we're dealing with. Yes, and you know what? I'm not going to say and tell you that it's not happening here, because I can see it. But here's the problem. Some of the people that are trafficking locally are your relatives.
All right.
I had a lady call me the other day. Why don't you stop my niece? I know she's out there and she's half naked. And you guys don't do anything about it. What did you do about it, you and your sister?
You see.
Mm-hmm.
How did it get to be my problem because your niece is out there doing what she do? Can you help me do that? Mm-hmm. 3 weeks ago, we arrested a prostitute in, I think it was Peck and Lincoln. Okay? 8 months pregnant.
Oh my God.
Wow. And I get to be the police problem? Houston, we got a problem. See, I told you I'm gonna date myself. About 30 seconds. But is it a problem? Yes. Are we gonna work on it? I hope we shall. But I need what other people to help me work on that also.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm down to about 10 or 11 right now. Okay, now, I want to back up, because right now, my fourth point I want to make, I want to go back and visit some of the things I talked about, okay? And talk about victimology. Okay, somebody talk to me. Frank, my witness, talk to me. What do you think victimology means? victimology.
Someone else is to blame.
Someone else to blame. Anybody else? Victimology.
Victim of somebody else.
Victim of somebody else. What does the word ology stand for?
Study of.
The study of. Okay, yes, the study of. Victimology is what? The study of what? Being a victim.
Yes, sir.
Being a victim. There's a process for that. You know? Like I tell, you know what? I love my wife, you know. But I tell my wife, don't go out with one of your wild friends and while I'm at a party and they tell you, come go upstairs, we're going to sit down and talk to my friend and his friend, and you come home and tell me that you got raped.
All right.
I don't want to hear that. Okay? A good example is, what's the boxer's name? The boxer got charged with rape.
Tyson.
Tyson.
Yes, sir.
Okay? She went upstairs to
That's
look
right.
at part of his private parts. And she told her friends, I want to see it. And when she went upstairs, he wanted her to do something else. They charged her with rape. And, I got a problem with that.
Yes, sir.
And you told your friends why you were up there with him. Okay? Victimology. Victimology. Let's take a look at some of the crimes we talked about. Shots fired. Okay? Shots fired. You know who they're shooting at? When the person gets shot, or when the person gets shot at, you know who they're shooting at? Friends, relatives, and associates.
That's right.
Strangers don't shoot at strangers. Now let me tell you something about Muskegon Heights. You realize about 93% of the time that a person is injured with a firearm or a cutting instrument in this city, it does not involve anybody that lives in the city.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
It doesn't.
That's
You see
right.
that thing right there where it said the city of friendly people? Most people in Muskegon Heights that have been living here for more than 10 years, they're very peace-loving people.
Yes, sir.
It's the people that are coming in, visiting the people that live here. They're lives the problem.
That's right.
I got young ladies, you'd be surprised what they'll do if you give them a $300 tattoo and a smartphone. You know, I'm going, ladies. You know, it's okay to have green hair, but you know what? Honor your body. Victimology. We are allowing things to happen. If you got a granddaughter, or if you got a daughter, your granddaughter and your daughter bring their boyfriend home, their boyfriend is driving a brand new car, and give your granddaughter a new Rolex watch, and doesn't have a job. Yeah, but he loved me, and he bought it. He hasn't got a job. You know what he's doing? That's how you allow, I said you allow criminal activity to fester itself in your home and in your city. So we got to be careful. We got to check our grandkids. We got to check ourselves. You know, every once in a while, you know, I get people. You know, I'm chief of police. Hey, chief, you want to go out and play golf with me? Okay, yeah. Who we gonna play with? We gonna get a foursome together. And they rattle off a name. And I know the guy selling dope. No, I'm not going to golf course with you. You need to know that I don't like you. You know, I'm going to go home, throw me some ribs on the grill. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. And I send that to them a message. That keeps me being a victim. You still got police officers that being fired for doing something that they should not have gotten involved in the first place. Homicides. Most of your homicides occur among people that got close relationships. They're either drug dealers, buddies, or family members. Hackett Street was two cousins. Downtown, it was two brothers. Or 5th Street, it was people that know each other. 7th Street and Casella, it was people that know each other. These are buddies. I know you, we know who killed that 16-year-old kid up there on Baker Street. That bullet was not meant for him. We know who it was meant for. Those are friends. And a family member is closely related, was closely involved. They shot the wrong person. See, but I can't say that in the papers. Matter of fact, I'm concerned about you recording me, but you know, I'm gonna probably say it again, okay? If you keep your life clean, you do the right thing, the right time, you don't have to worry about getting shot, and not just accidental because a shot's fired, but most of them can't shoot that well. Okay? But victimologists say, you know what, can you control that? Yeah, you can. I even talked to my police officers about it. Culture change. Okay, culture change. 2014, 2015, 2012, we lost a lot of police officers. Some of them got fired, some of them got arrested. Okay? Somebody should have said, you know what, you need to go on patrol and stop doing what you're doing. Okay? And now your police department got to be revamped. It's amazing how you can change history by just nurturing and helping people to understand this is unacceptable. Okay? Socially unacceptable and economically unsound have to be something that the city, the people who live here, touts, honor, and espouses upon. If not, people think that you think that it's okay. And you can make people listen if you say it long and loud enough. You know, let's change history. What would have happened? What would have happened if after the meeting that one of the captains had went to General Custer and said, General, can I see you after the meeting? Okay? There's a lot of Indians down by the little big one. Okay? There's a bunch of them down there. Okay? It just took one person to say, I don't think we should go down there. Especially not today. This is not good. You know, during the riots in the 1960s, by the way, too, my dad told me I couldn't riot. It bothers me, and my mom told me, she said, I don't want you rioting. It bothered me when you get a group of people who can get so upset with the white man that you go down there and you burn up somebody's house that you know. You know, to me, I didn't get that. You're victimizing yourself. Or you go back to the company that you work for and you set that on fire. Now you haven't got a job. See, those kind of things, you know, make you wonder, things that make you go, should I take another look at this? Okay? Drug overdose. Okay? We are chasing people down the streets with needles dangling out of their arms. Don't you know that stuff when I tell you? Okay? Fentanyl and car fentanyl, if anybody here lived on a farm, you know what fentanyl is? Car fentanyl? You know, like if you have a mule, you got a broken tooth, you have to pull it, that's what they put the mule to sleep with. You put that in your system, you're not big as a mule. Okay? That's not good for you. And you're putting this stuff in your own body. You know, those are the type of things we got to monitor ourselves as well as our relatives. When my kids come in the house, okay, I stop at the front door. How you doing? Where'd you go? Okay, did you enjoy yourself? And you know, in the meantime, I'm watching their gait. I'm looking at their eyes. Okay? You got somebody come in and pupils standing wide open, and they got that 1,000-mile stare. You know, have a seat, son. No, Dad, I'm going upstairs and go to bed. No, he said, no, you're not. You're not gonna sleep in my bed. You're gonna talk to me. My wife and I used to have a conflict. You know, she said, you know what my wife would do? I'm trying to figure out why the boy coming home 1 o'clock in the morning and he's 18 years old and he's in my house. You know, when she comes down, you leave that boy alone. He's out enjoying himself. Boy, you know, have you eaten? I don't care if he eats. She wants to know, has he? I don't care if he eats or not. Somebody got to be disciplined enough is to call that to task. That's socially unacceptable in my house. You got people carrying guns in your house and you know it. You know your granddaughter dated the boy and that boy carried a gun. You got to say, you know, Susie, when you bring little Johnny over, tell him to leave his gun in the car. I don't want that gun in my house. You got to make it socially unacceptable. If not, they're going to think that what? You condone it. What are we talking about now? Victimology. Okay? Well, remember I told you, because you don't know it, don't mean that it's not happening. That's why things are happening. You can put a police officer on every block, and a boyfriend gonna shoot his girlfriend. You can't stop that. By the way, there are some people saying that homicide is a non-suppressible crime because it occurs among friends and relatives. Now, sure, you got that boy that walked in the church and killed those people. That's different. That's not what happened all the time. Let me throw some empirical data at you again. Remember I told you some data, you turn into information. You know what the number one cause of death of police officers is? Number one cause of death of police officers.
Drugs.
Huh?
Drugs.
Drugs. Anybody else?
Suicide.
Say it again. Oh, give me five. Give me five. Give me five. A lot of people don't believe that. Suicide. Suicide. I'm not afraid of police. If that man will shoot himself, I couldn't do with you. It's very stressful being a police officer. I don't sleep well at night sometimes. I have to force myself to go to sleep because I'm wondering what's going to happen in this city. Suicide. See how empirical data story. I got to nurture those police officers every day. When they come in and put their gun belt on, looking like this, you walk by, you don't say anything. I said, "Come here, son. Is everything okay?" "No, Chief. You know, my wife and I got in an argument. My mother in the hospital." And I said, "Okay, go get your car ready and come back and talk to me." That's what we got to do. We got young people that live in the house with mom and dad, and the mom and dad don't see them in 3 days. What are we talking about now? We're talking about victimology. What's happening in this state, what's happening in the country, that parallels what's happening here in Muskegon Heights, and what does not, okay? I know I'm throwing a whole lot of stuff at you. Well, by the way, you know, if they don't throw it at you right now, it costs you $350 an hour if we were someplace else. Okay? Also, you know, let's take a look at some of the things that perhaps that we need to take a look at outside of human dynamics. No, that's not true. What? No, it's not. O.W. Wilson went and conducted a survey called the broken window theory. Anybody know about that theory? Broken window, no, not you. Okay. Okay, the broken window theory. Okay. The broken window theory. What he did that I think it occurred in New York. Okay. He put a car on the street, broke out one of the windows, took off one of the hubcaps. Okay. He threw dirt on the car and parked on the street. Came back in 1 week. All the rest of the tires were gone, the radio was gone, and the engine was missing. He took that same car, polished it, put Armor All on the tire, and he polished that same car, left it on the street, came back, it was the same condition. I don't know why, but it works. That's why I tell people, cut your grass.
Yes, sir.
You know what, paint your house.
That's right.
You know, polish your car every once in a while. Turn your music down. You know, I love you, baby, boom to the boom, I jumped on the tree, and I got mine, just use my 9, and whoop to the boom. Don't allow your granddaughters to play that stuff in your neighborhood. You don't think people could pick that up and they say, well, they don't care, I don't care. You know, I don't care. You know, well, you know, controlling music haven't got anything to do with what's happening in the house. It does. It does. Because people hear that kind of stuff. I tell my officer, if they're 3 years old or 45 years old, you say yes ma'am and no ma'am. It's just that simple. You give them that respect until they get to the point where they don't deserve that respect, and they will start respecting you. When I first got here, you know, I told my officers, I want you to speak to one citizen a day. In the mirror, thought I was crazy. You know, I said, all I want you to do is just wave at one person a day, not the one you give them a ticket. Not the one you drive to the house because they got in a fight, but somebody that haven't done anything, just go. One a day. And you see citizens change their behavior. For what you do. It works. So Robert Peel made a statement a long time ago, and it is true today. No police department can make a city safe. Only the people that live in that city can make it safe. We can help you make it safe. Yes. So Robert Peel says, the people are the police and the police are the people. He said that the people is an extension of the police department. That means, number one, I gotta listen. Now, this is Saturday afternoon. I want to go to the golf, Jack. Say, hey, I want to go fishing this afternoon. I ain't got time to talk to a bunch of people. But the people want to hear from me. I got to go where they are. Where they are, they're in this building. You know, I'm so proud of you. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 people in here. We should have 12 people at a homeowner association like this. I talked to the officers over in Muskegon, the city of Muskegon. We go to a homeowner association and you've got 3 people show up. We're talking about your home and your association. We're going to be doing some things in the city in order to reorganize the people and get the people focused again. How do you identify some of these things? Based upon the things that I told you, okay? Learn what good habits and bad habits look like. What does white look like? You realize that we got some, I don't mean to be too finger pointing, but don't think I'm talking about any particular family. We got 12 and we got 8, 9, 10-year-old kids, never seen their father or their grandfather, grandmother go to work. Work don't mean anything for you. We got kids that are 18 years old and never seen their mother or their grandmother read. That's part of the problem. How you identify that means you got to change your behavior or encourage other people to change their behavior. So that you can give good behaviors, because you know what they see? They play those video games and they're acting just like them. Okay? They walk like them, they talk like them, they're doing the same thing that they see on the video game, except that you can't hit reset. Okay? And they become callous. We got to start doing the right thing around our young people so they can pick up good habits and see what life looks like. Men, be careful using the B word about your girlfriend or your wife. Your son just picked it up. Your son is going to pick it up. Lady, be careful what you say about your husband. Okay? Because your daughter's going to pick it up. And they see it as being love. Now, I got a couple there a couple weeks ago that came in and talked to me, because I've been counseling sometimes, because we have to. And you know what I told them? And they looked at me and they almost had tears in their eyes. I said, you guys need to get a divorce before you fool around and have a kid. And that kid's gonna think what you doing to each other is okay. Because they see that you say and do things to each other. And they're gonna grow up and say, oh, this is what you do, this is bad. And it's not. You know, I kind of tease people. You have some people that just shouldn't have kids. Family love it. You know, some kind of people. Remember I made a statement when I first became chief, that sign that said, welcome to Muskegon Heights, doesn't mean everybody. When the mayor looked at me, she said, what did you say? I heard you on TV telling people to get out of town. I said, yes ma'am, sure did. There are some people we don't want here. You know, you need to go where we don't go, but bye. You know, we just fixed up our way. You know what? Don't go out there with your little girlfriend that night and go out there acting crazy. Okay? And I got family having a picnic now. And they're walking in, they're doing some fishing out there. It looks better out there. We don't need you out there with that bad behavior. Just like that. Sometimes you just have to just call it like you see. Okay? But you got to be able to identify, don't you? We're going to be working with the school system. I'm going to be working with other organizations. I'm working very closely. Well, I got an idea from one of the council person, Councilwoman Kitchen, and the mayor's also on board. We call it a parenting cafe. I see the school got a grant for we got a grant also, a mini grant. The school got a grant for a parenting university. What we're trying to do is teach parents how to parent. How to identify bad behavior. What am I supposed to do? And how am I supposed to do it? And how do I get my kids to reinforce that to them? And how do I get myself in a mode so I can set a good example? Because kids, you know that's about 63% of what a child is going to be, or the way they act or behave is mimicked from friends and relatives. From friends and relatives. When a child is born and brought into this world, the doctor don't help that lady bring that child into the world and say, Mrs. Johnson, well, I hope there's somebody here not really named Johnson. Okay, well, not this Mrs. Johnson, okay? Another Mrs. Johnson. Mrs. Johnson, you're the proud parent of 1,000 baby birthdays. That child's not born perfect. That's a learned behavior. That's a learned skill. I tell people all the time, you know what? Racism is a learned behavior. You know, I got white friends, and I say, you know what? You were saying stuff behind closed doors, now your kids showing up at a rally. Okay? You know what? When I see kids when I see people walking around and, you know, with these crazy flags and acting crazy, you know, during a rally, you know what? Go find their parents. Their lives are problem. Okay? That's a learned behavior. Or you let them hang out with the wrong people. That's what we're going to be teaching. Okay? I read a book once called You Are What You Were When. Okay? You are what you were when. Okay? You have seen somebody. Remember I told you that I looked and I told you a lot of people influenced me? Okay. How was I born? Okay? My sister used to steal money from Dad. She'd come in the house and knock on the window. I have to try to let her in because Mom was locked out of the house and she's come through the window. And I'm saying to myself, Mom told you to be home at 11 o'clock. Then why are you coming in the house 2 o'clock in the morning? You know, expecting me to let you in the window. Okay? You know, and you know what I'm saying about when you see people do it, you need to learn how to identify that. We need to learn how to identify that. You must let them know that it's socially unacceptable and that you know about it. And that you know about it. My mom and dad got into a confrontation one night, and he slapped her, and she had a knife in her hand. She said, if you slap me again, I'm going to stab you. So he slapped her again, she stabbed him. Okay, and he was bleeding all over the place. He passed out, and we had him in the car, and he was bleeding all over the car. And my brother-in-law, we take him to the hospital, okay? As President Obama said to me, that was a teachable moment. I learned a lot. Don't slap a woman with a knife in her hand. Don't do that. Okay? We can learn watching the behaviors of others.
That's right.
Okay? But you got to identify, you know what? When you see something on TV and you got your grandson or your son or your daughter in front of them, discuss it. You know what? You shouldn't do that. You know, and that became my mantra. That became our way of talking. Sometimes I never learned to appreciate reading, but my kids come in the house and I pick up a newspaper. And I start reading. What you reading, Dad? I said, I'm reading so-and-so. I'm reading the headline. And the next 2 or 3 days, Dad, can I have the paper when you get done? Sure. Teach them how to read, how to cook, how to mow a lawn, how to keep the house clean, how to say yes ma'am and no ma'am, how to teach them to, you know what? Give me your last name. Horn. Horn. Okay. I know it's going to sound crazy, Ms. Horn. You have to sit down and explain to your relatives that they're not the only Horn. There's a bunch of them there. Don't disgrace, don't disrupt, don't disgrace that name. You're not the only one with it. That name have a deep heritage. You know, and you should honor it. You should honor it. Put some pride back in the family's name, in the family, in the city. Like this patch when I first got here. You see that patch right there? I was asking, I said, what does this patch mean? I got police officers that couldn't tell me. Then why are you wearing it? Okay, I know what that means, and I just got here 15 months ago. Okay? Your name, your artifacts, your heritage. Okay? Learn about it. Teach about it. I explained to a lot of people, all blacks, they come from Africa. All people who speak Spanish don't come from Mexico. Learn more about other people and others. Why are you smiling at me like that? Okay. Learn about other people and other heritage. But learn your own. I've worked in 3 other countries. You realize that we are probably the largest country on earth where our children only speak one language? They know more about the United States than our kids. We got to go back. Remember I told you sometimes to go forward? You got to go back. Who am I? Why am I here? I got some people, they'll read about Martin Luther King. They go to Martin Luther King High School, okay? So they fight and yell and scream, you know what? Well, you know what? Martin Luther King said that, like Martin Luther King did not say that. By the way, he wasn't talking about you. Martin Luther King didn't mean for you to get on Facebook and call everybody anything but a child of God and meet them down the street for a fight.
That's right.
And Martin Luther King didn't tell you that. Well, I got a right to do that. You don't have a right to fight each other in the middle of the streets. That's not what he's talking about. So we must teach that children. Now, I don't want to get too far on it, right? But I hope you don't get upset with me. You also we got to go back and we got to get our family and our friends to understand the power of raising man and woman. You don't have to get away with things because the police won't catch you. You can't get away from that.
That's right.
Okay? Now, remember I told you I was a Southerner? Okay. I gotta make sure I got my facts in there. Okay. There were a lot of things transpiring in the world today that I thought I would never see. I never thought I would see, and my family never thought I was going that they would ever see me become a police officer. Because when I wanted to be a police officer, there were certain people that weren't allowed to be a police officer. Okay? A police chief was unheard of. I worked for five police departments. I've been a chief in 4. It can happen. You can learn additional behaviors. You can learn new habits. We must go back and teach. I want you to go back. I see it come up. I see a few of you taking notes. Okay? I want you to go back and talk to people about what they said. Okay? And let people understand that that's the new normal. It's not normal to lie in your bed and hear shots being fired. That's not normal. It's not normal to hate people. Hate's a learned behavior. Okay? And sometimes people get upset with me when I ask them. I said, do you think a person can be a bigot and don't know it? No, they know it. No, they don't. They just are ignorant. If you teach somebody from day one that they're better than other folk, they grow up and they believe them. Okay? They believe them. Okay? You got to unlearn. You know my dad told me, he used to call us N-word. Okay? And they'd run across the street and they'd chase them. Then the cops wouldn't arrest us because we were chasing people. Okay? And my dad told me, he said, let me tell you how to stop chasing people. What? He said, look up the word, look up the N-word. Do you act that way? And I said, no, I don't. He said, well, then don't worry about it. Let them call you whatever you want. Don't you worry about it. They're not talking about you. They talking about something their mom and dad, their grandkids, their grandfather and mother told them. You just ignore it. Okay? I had some people, that they were, I went to a conference to have a speech just like this, to give a presentation. And I walked in and I sat down and I said, I'm Dr. Thomas, I'm out here for the program. She said, oh, Dr. Thomas, good to see you. And she said, what's your church? In order to be a doctor, you got to be a reverend. I said, I don't have a church. Oh, okay. So it went on for five minutes. And I'm in Oakland County. I was chief of police of Southfield. Oakland County, the second richest county in the nation. You know that? Oakland County, Michigan. So I'm there waiting for the program to start. And they said, well, I said, when can we get started? I said, it's a little bit late. She said, as soon as the Southfield chief get here, we're going to start. And I said, I am the Southfield chief.
Oh my.
I thought you told me you're Dr. Thomas. I said, yeah. I'm also a 2-star general with the Army Reserve. Now can we start the program? That's how you make changes. Conducting yourself accordingly. Like I explained, I got some friends of mine who were 2 shades brighter than I am. You know what I said? You don't understand that when you're burning your crosses, you carrying that rebel flag, acting crazy, you realize that we got a bunch of people in this country that dislike you just as much. Did you know that? Or do you think you got the market on hate? Okay? Then I was talking to one the other day. I said, I can guarantee you, if you split this country like you did in the 1960s, okay, the United Nations will come in on a peace treaty mission in order to maintain the peace. Because a lot of people are not going to put up with it. Okay? They're not going to put up with it. You know what happened in the first time the United Nations come in and they have a peace treaty or a peace mission, peacekeeping mission? The first thing is null and void is what? Your Constitution. Be careful. Be careful. You're going to be fighting for something that you don't own anymore. And it's happening. 63% of our dollars owned by China and Japan. Did you know that? We keep asking the white man for the rock. Where's my part of the rock? He doesn't own the rock anymore. There's something happening. The new normal, what is it? Do you have to watch man, or you should watch the power greater than man and woman? Okay? You got two terrible storms following each other after one just left. And on the other end of the country, you got a national forest on fire. Water, fire. Something is happening, and it's bigger than us. Okay? Something is happening, and it's bigger than us.
That's right.
Okay? That's the new normal. Okay? So how do we make ourselves, get our kids to understand the new normal? That it's okay to sleep without gunfire. You're supposed to. Let me show you how the new normal worked for me. I finished college in 3.5 years with a bachelor's degree in mathematics. 3.5 years, I had a bachelor's degree in mathematics with a 2.9 average.
Right.
2.9.
Yes, sir.
You know why? Because my mother told me that, boy, you go to school to go to class. I thought that's what I was supposed to do. That's what I did. And when the teacher gives you an assignment, you're supposed to do it. That's what I did.
All right.
That's how simple that new normal is. Okay? Honor your grandmother.
Yes, sir.
Now, see that eye you just gave me? When your grandmother look you like that,
All right.
you know what? Be quiet. That's respect.
Yes, sir.
You know, because they look at you like this.
All right.
You better shut up.
That's right.
Okay? That's respect. You learn that respect at home. Okay? I got to be extremely careful what I say to this man. I got to be extremely careful. Okay? If I learn to respect you, I learn to respect the next person.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes. But we don't respect our own people, our
That's
own
right.
mom and dad.
Yes, sir.
So we got to go back and do what? The new normal. It's abnormal to not to respect your mother and your father.
Amen.
Matter of fact, there's some writing about that. So I hope. See that now. I gave you data, didn't I? I gave you ideas how to turn it into what? Information.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you know, because if not, people don't you just hate CNN. They give you half the story.
Yes, sir.
You know, or by the way, too, Facebook gonna kill us. I like human dynamics. Remember I told you that? Do you know the number one reason people post stuff on Facebook? Number one reason. Give me 5. To get attention. They want attention. Half that stuff is not true. You know what?
That's right.
Today is my anniversary. I fell in love with the love of my life 13 years ago. You don't even live together. You don't even live together. I know that for a fact. It's right here. Okay? Okay, let me ask you a question. Do you know what this means? A wedding band?
All right.
Commitment. Okay? Anybody else?
And a circle of love.
A circle of love. Never ending. Precious metal. Made out of what? Got diamonds in it. You know what it means? It means that I own you. If I give you this, I own you. The warrior used to give this to their slave, their head slave, and their wives when they went to battle. That way, you can charge food while they were gone, and the master paid you when they got back. And you rolled it in paraffin. Sometimes they melt a candle, and you roll it in there because they all had different symbols on it. That means that whoever carried this ring, I own them. That's what it means. You got police officers. Why do you become a police officer? Because I want to help people. I do. I want to help people. You want to hear the truth? You know why I became a police officer? Because I like guns. I do. That's why I became a police officer. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. And you'll be surprised that you get a different. Let me give you something else. The next time somebody asks you how you feel, really tell them. You know, how do you feel? I got a headache and I can't breathe at night. You know what? And they'll walk off and leave you. They don't want to know how you're doing.
That's right. That's true. That's true.
If you start telling people the truth. You know, but my wife, she had this black and white dress once.
Oops.
You know what? Yes. She came in. How do I look? And I said, you look like a tent. It wasn't had stripes in it and get wide at the bottom. I said, like a circus tent. You know? She said, why did you say that? I said, you asked me how you look. Every once in a while, you gotta tell it like it is, right?
Yes, sir.
You gotta tell it like it is.
Yes, sir.
Then people do what? They will understand you.
That's right.
You work for it. You gotta go tell Mrs. Johnson, you know what? Your kids are pulling up my flowers. You know what? I'm gonna hold you responsible for it. I'm just trying to make my house look pretty.
Yes,
By
sir.
the way, too, I got some extra flowers. How about if I come help you plant yours?
All right.
That's the new normal.
Yes, sir.
You know, and don't forget now. Sometimes you guys see me, you hear me say something in on the radio, and you guys think I'm crazy, don't you? You know, and I said, hey, the worst thing that I've seen since I've been in Muskegon Heights is the people that live here and what they tolerate.
Yes, sir.
And what you tolerate.
Yes, sir.
What's going to be the new normal. Now, I'm going to leave a little space, a little time for question and answer. Because you know what? You got to understand, I'm like a Southern Baptist preacher. I can talk to you for 3 days. I can't.
I have a question. What happens when you give this kind of lecture to police? How do they respond?
Very well. Very well. Because I don't try to belittle them.
Yes, sir.
I tell them what
Yeah,
happened.
okay.
You know, I tell them what happened. I got a police officer right now, and I'm gonna say it, and I hope I don't offend anybody. I got a police officer right now. Within the next 3 days, he probably won't be here. He got 16 years of service. He's not doing his job. He's never done his job since he's been here.
All right.
You know, and I tell him, I said, you know what, son? This is what I want you to do. Now, if you don't do this, I'm gonna give you an opportunity to go someplace else. You gotta make a choice. But I've always done it that way. I know. That's all right.
I understand.
But you can't do it now. And the rest of the officers said, amen. It's about time somebody tell him that he can't do that.
You said,
Yes. I mean, you know, I got classes certified by MCO, the Michigan Commission on Law Enforcement Standard. You know my first class that I taught in 1989? In a place called Norton Shores, Michigan.
told you you've been in before.
Yeah, Norton Shores, Michigan. Now I'm back again. And they said, I know you. I said, yep, from now on, I'm watching you. Because I'm next door now. And we got that, now we're getting to be friends. Okay? So, you know what now? I might lie to you. The next time you see a police officer on the street, stop them and ask them how they feel about me. Because I might lie to you.
Even in Muskegon, ask them.
Muskegon Heights, right here.
Ask them. Stop the Michigan State Police and said, what do you think about Chief Thomas? Ask them.
But you know what always confused me?
What's that?
Is that police, anytime a policeman stops you, they try to be a bully.
You know what? Now, you know what? I could just hug you, okay? Remember I told you I was a teacher? Okay, I got my doctoral degree. My doctoral degree is in educational leadership.
Yes, sir.
Okay? And in my dissertation, I actually supported comparative analysis of between the, then it was Malati, the Michigan Law Enforcement Training Council, and officer actual job experience. I did a comparative analysis, a purpose sample, okay? And I gave the support that about 61% of what police officers learn in the police academy is not used on the streets.
That's right. That's right.
Not used. But you know why? Let me tell you how we talk to people, okay? We are trained to come in and with a command voice,
Yes, sir.
do you want something? Okay, I'm here to help you. No, you be quiet, okay? Give me your ID.
Mm-hmm.
That's a command voice.
Yes, sir.
We train them to do that.
Yes, sir. That's right.
We need to stop training police officers to do that. Not only that, notice how I'm standing. My gun hands away from you.
Yes, sir.
Because I'm prepared to shoot you.
That's right. That's
We
right.
got to stop that. I come in and say, can I help you with something? Notice what my hand is right here. This is going to stop me from kicking me. Okay? I didn't say, what do you want?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I said, what? Can I help you with something?
Mm-hmm.
Let me pick on you. Okay? You got driver's license?
What?
Driver's license.
Yes.
Okay? Let me see. Now, watch this now. I stop you at a traffic stop. Okay?
Yeah.
Do you own this car? What did you hear
Yeah.
me say to her?
I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah, but what did you hear me say to her?
Do you own this?
Yeah, but what did you hear me say?
Do you own?
I asked you, do you own this car? Subliminally, what did you hear me say?
Are you stealing it?
Are you stealing it? You don't. You can't afford this car. Now watch this. Ma'am, may I have your registration, please? You get the same information.
Yes, sir. Exactly.
You see how you talk to people? You know what? Are you married? By the way, it's going to cost you $300 an hour. Give me someone that's married real quick.
We are.
Come on, okay. Now I'm going to tell you something, okay? When you go home, no, don't do it when you go home. Do it when you come back home later on tomorrow, okay? When you come home, don't walk in the house and tell her that you love her, okay? I want you to walk in the house and say, God, I missed you, and just walk away. And watch her behavior change. You know, just walk in the house and say, I tell you something else too. Don't touch her. Don't touch her, okay? I want you to do this. Reach out to her at her face and say, God, I missed you. It's much more stronger than I love you. Okay? Not only that, you made contact with her and you never touched her. That's what I teach people. How do I change your behavior and you change mine? You can change society like that. When I see people, you know, they say something with the heavy racial overtones, and you know what I said? You're wrong. You know what you're talking about. You know what I said? What happened to you to make you think that way? And they go, no, what happened to you? Because, you know, I'm just confused. Tell them that you're confused. I'm confused with the way you're acting. You know, and that way, you know what? Now you got them listening. Yes. So it's the way you talk to people. And we train people to say nasty things to each other. You know that the B word is common? The B word. In reference to a woman?
Yeah.
It's common.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and I had two black police officers that used the N-word calling toward each other. Okay? And I wrote them up. It's a racial slur. Yeah, but we're both black. It's a racial slur. You know, we need to change our behavior. They don't talk to you like that because they don't like you. We train them to do that. Remember I told you we need to untrain? Okay? We need to untrain people. You know, but like women, I'll do anything in the world for my kids. My kids, you know what? They can get anything I got. You know what? The first law of nature is love yourself. You know, I don't put anybody above me except God, or Allah, Buddha, Yahweh, Jehovah, and me. Then I can love. You realize that if you don't like yourself, you can't love nor hate. All right. So you ought to come to my lecture or something. Oh, wait, you got to go past the half. Any other questions now? Yes, sir.
You mentioned that you get a lot of respect from other police departments. Do you see that diversification in other departments go? Because I just see it in Muskegon because you talk about it. I'm in Muskegon Heights, but I don't see it in like Muskegon. I lived there all my life, and I'm just wondering why isn't that happening?
You know what? Oh my God! You guys are asking pretty good questions. You know why? Because we're trying to cheat our way through things. Okay? It costs about $7,000 to put somebody through the police academy.
Yes, sir.
You know, and it got to be a full-time employee for 12 months, 12 weeks. And the school itself is $3,600. Okay? So in order for us to attract people, you get somebody that already put themselves through the academy. Mm-hmm. That means that you got somebody that can afford to pay $3,600 and don't work, but go to the academy for 12 weeks. What socioeconomic class do you think they're going to be in? I rest my case. And that's what's happening.
That's it.
And that's what's happening. That's why I'm giving scholarships.
Yes, sir.
Okay? I'm going to start giving scholarships because most people of color can't afford to do that.
That's right.
And not only that, it's the upper class of whites. The lower class of white can't afford it either.
All right.
And that's what you're looking at. But can we do something about it? Give me about a month. And I want to surprise some people.
All right.
Okay,
Yes, sir. I got 3 of them coming through right now.
All right.
Praise God.
There's a way you can do that. Aren't you glad you came today?
I had an experiment, I don't want to do all the talking, of this last week where a state policeman came to my house, and that's the first policeman in a long time I had any respect. He handled himself beautiful. You know, he shook your hand and said, you know, what the problem is and everything else. And he walked out of the house with a smile. And he said, we'll take care of everything. That's not been my habit. I've seen the worst behavior in this country in policemen in the past. And most of them were white policemen. I mean, I went to the school at Wayne in Detroit, and when they had that set up, what was it that they had, the squads were killing people? Stress, yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember stress.
Yeah.
They were all like 6'5". I mean, they were huge.
But anyhow, they stopped the guys right out of the dorm, and they stopped me and said, put your hands up, and I want identification. And I reached him up, don't put your hand in your pocket. I said, wait a minute. Yeah, I said, how can I show you my identification? Shut up! You know, and I thank goodness I didn't carry a gun, because if I had a gun, I would have blew him.
You worse than the cops. Now you see, I'm trying to teach officers of cops not to do that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and I've taught in a lot of academies. A lot of these cops have been through my class.
Yes, sir.
And they know that I'm here now, and they said, Chief, I've been listening to you, Chief. Okay, all right, we'll see.
All right.
We'll see. Any other question now? Okay.
You've been out
Yes,
of
ma'am.
our church. You've been out of church and taught, and you did a group of people, young people, last year, was it the year before last, Christ Temple Church?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Last year,
you were
twice.
training them for something. You remember that?
Yes, ma'am. The Citizen Police Academy.
That's
Yes.
right.
Okay, yes. Okay. Yep, sure did. I enjoy sharing data with people. Yes, ma'am.
This is what I'm concerned about. You know, I'm in the world, but not of the world. And the list of information that you have given, you know, to parents, it goes back home. You know, how do you go, you cannot, how can you teach people? Everybody here having a productive citizen, we don't have any of these people here with these problems. Where are the people with the problem? Why aren't they here?
Okay.
And how can we help them? And we do, but they don't listen.
Number one, build a cycle. Okay, every chance you get, go back and tell them about it. Number two, I got to attract them with something that's going to make them come and listen to me.
Yes, sir.
And what I'm going to do with my grant, I'm going to offer a $50 gift card. I'm going to have 4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
When you come to the meeting, you get a ticket. You got to have a child with you. Okay, you got to bring your child with you, and then at the end of the meeting, I'm gonna draw tickets, and give out gift cards, and they'll show up.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah, you got to understand human dynamics. People want something for their time.
Mm-hmm.
Most people don't. I mean, you and I were raised differently. You know, and now I don't mean to be arrogant, okay? But I got retirement. Remember I told you I was retired? Okay, and I got my own 401k.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and my wife and I own our own job. We got our own company.
Yes, sir.
You know, I'm here because I want to be.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, because I was born and raised in a place like this.
All right.
Okay, I enjoy working with the people and making change and causing positive changes, because I can see that if we don't, I think people of color are really going to be lost. I would predict in the next 15 years, whites will be the minority.
That's
what
they're afraid of.
Now, wait a minute now. Do you realize that we are the second largest minority group now? We're not first anymore.
That's right.
I know that.
Yeah. We're the second. Okay, we are getting what? We're getting less and less. Okay, now maybe I shouldn't say this, but there's a, oh God, you know what? I told you not to, don't ask too many questions because I got too much stuff in my head. Young black females are choosing to be single.
Yes, sir.
They've stopped having black babies. And white females are now following suit. So therefore, the Spanish-speaking Americans are having children. The white females don't want white babies anymore. Not everybody, okay? I'm not talking about all white females. But you notice that when you watch the riots and the bigotry come out in some of the racial overtones for whites, you very seldom see white females out there.
That's very true.
They don't want to part of that. Okay? The black females are choosing to be single because she wants somebody that's going to be educated. Because that's why I keep telling people, you know, about the black male. You know, a black male, they see a nice looking woman. Hey, baby, I know you want me. You know what she want to talk about? T-Row Price.
See, that's right.
She don't want your body. 17% of the American females that are pregnant was artificially inseminated. She don't even want us for that now.
Whoa, my goodness.
And they're choosing to be single. Hey, how do you like this lecture? You know what? And I got people think I'm crazy. And I'm saying, no.
They can't come crazy too.
Go check it out. Go check it out.
Yes, sir.
Like I explained to a lot of people, you know what? I thought I'd never see a black president.
Okay.
I thought I'd never see myself become a police chief. I didn't think I would ever see the end of the earth.
All right.
I don't know now.
Yes, sir.
I might be looking at it. So, I mean, you know what? There's a lot of stuff that go through my mind, that go through my head.
Yes, sir.
And I'm saying I need to go out and talk to folks.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Thank you.
Because there's some weird things happening. There's some weird things happening.
Yes, sir.
Anybody, now, let me say something else, okay? Look at the demographics in this room.
Women?
The new men of the house are now females.
Yes, sir.
Now, you gotta go send me home before I get you upset. You know something else? If you're married to the same person that you married the first time, and you've been together over 20 years, you're in the minority.
Oh, no doubt about that. No doubt about that.
You're in the minority.
No doubt about that.
Yeah?
Severe minority.
I don't know if that's wrong or right. I'm just telling you what is.
Yes, sir.
You know, and you try to tell people that. you know, and they just don't get it. They just don't. You know, they look at me and said, you know what? Bull stuff. Okay. There's two types of there's two types of BS. There's BS bull manure.
Yes, sir.
And there's BS basic strategy. And you got to understand the difference between the two.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Because you know what?
I like that one.
You know what? You get a lot of people that was full of crap. They had a guy called Jesus Christ. Nutted a $50 fruitcake. Didn't he tell you that he told you that this was going to come, didn't he?
Yeah.
And they killed him.
All right.
You know? King had a dream. Ah! Okay. You know what? You can't kill King. He will live forever.
Yes, sir.
He would live forever. You know, when Al Sharpton died, they're gonna say Al who?
All right.
But you know who King is.
Yes, sir.
That's the kind of thing we want. We want a legacy. You know? Bill Gates told Apple and told IBM about men and women don't want to speak Cobalt and Fortran.
That's right.
They want to launch a system that make a computer work with just the press of a button. Not only that, they're graphically driven. And he said, I'm going to put pictures up.
Right.
And you put all the pictures together and they look like windows. That's what he named the software.
That's right.
Windows. BS or BS? Basic strategy. How am I going to get where I am? I don't want to be poor no more. I got money stuffed all over the place. I started saving money when I was 14. 14 years old. Because I didn't want to be poor anymore. We got evicted when I was 14 years old. I said, this will never happen to me.
Wow.
They put us out. We'd go live with my mother's sister. I said, this will never happen to me and my family. When I turned 17, my dad didn't have any money. He gave me a .32 revolver and a box of ammo. When I left home. I left home when I was 17, having a back since.
You must have knew you like guns.
See?
That's what people.
Any more questions now? Man, you're gonna run out of battery, you know that.
I can't believe I haven't.
Anybody else got any questions now? Look, do me a favor. You can get my telephone number. Sometime when I come to these lectures, people get in contact with me. If you got problems in your home and you want me to talk to you and that person or somebody else, get on the phone, give me a call. I have people in my office all the time, don't I?
Yes, you do.
By the way, too, do you know that I got a degree in guidance and counseling? Yeah, I do. You know, and you know what? I tell most people, I'm not very, very smart. But I tease you about it, don't I? I'm not smart. I'm not. You know what? I'm intelligent.
Yes, sir.
I'm extremely intelligent. I can walk in council meeting and tell you exactly who don't want me here.
Come on. Yes, he can.
Yes, I can.
Yes,
Or you
he
got
can.
some people on council don't want me here, no way.
That's right. That's the honest to God truth.
Yes, because I'm saying, you know what? It's the new normal. One of the worst things you can do is tell me how long you've been here. I lived in this city for the last 50 years. Really? Then I go by your house and I'm going, My mother always told me, said, be careful of a drowning man trying to teach you how to swim.
Come on now. Come on now.
That's
Don't say,
true.
I am not impressed.
That's right.
I gotta go home. I'm sorry talking to you guys. Thanks for coming out to see me.
Thank you.